Macronutrients, what are they and what do they do? Well, there are three main macronutrients that we think about when we are thinking about food. This is carbohydrate, protein, and fat. Now, all macronutrients can be used as an energy source by the body, but some are also used in helping the body to build and repair. First of all, let's think about carbohydrate. So carbohydrate, we're thinking about sugars and starches, so fruit, bread, pasta, potatoes, and then many ultra-processed foods such as breakfast cereals and confectionery and cakes, etc. These are all mainly carbohydrate foods, and they consist of sugar or starch, which when we eat it gets digested back into sugar. And the main use of carbohydrate is as a fuel source. Equally, carbohydrate is important to think about, certainly when we're thinking about pre-diabetes and type 2 diabetes, because these foods will raise our blood sugar level. And if we're struggling to control that, we may be interested in thinking about how much carbohydrate we are eating and whether or not we need to bring it down. So that's carbohydrate. Next we have protein. So protein's main role is actually as a building material, building blocks for the body to grow and repair. And the protein is made up from smaller blocks called amino acids. So you can imagine protein as a sort of a brick wall is one protein, and each brick in that is an amino acid. Now, there are certain amino acids we have to eat in our diet because our body cannot make them, and there are other amino acids that our body can make. But what this really highlights is we have to eat a certain amount and a certain type of protein in our diet. And you'll often find people eat quite a low protein diet now by food preferences. Breakfast cereal as cornflakes or another cereal may be quite low in protein. A typical sandwich meal deal, a sandwich and some crisps and a chocolate bar, is quite low in protein. If you're doing that, the body will be telling you to go and eat more because it needs a certain amount of protein in the diet. And you need to make sure you get the right mix of amino acids in that diet. So that's protein. Then finally, we have fat. Now, fat's main role is as an energy source. So the fat that we eat goes into our blood, and then it'll go into storage and then can be released to be used for energy when we need it. However, there are some fats which are essential for our health. This is omega-3 and omega-6. They are essential in our diet because we cannot make them ourselves, and they're essential in our health. Omega-3 is the one that we often need to think about more because the foods we tend to eat these days tend to be quite low in omega-3. So we need to make sure we're eating enough foods with omega-3, and oily fish is an often quoted one that we should be trying to get some of in our day. Omega-6 is less of a problem because many people are eating lots of seed oils and products made from seed oils, or vegetable oils as we commonly call them, and these are jam-packed full of omega-6. So that the actual problem with omega-6 is people are often eating too much. But other than that, fat's main role is as an energy source. So those are the three macronutrients. We've got carbohydrate, which is sugars and starches, protein, which we need to make sure we get certain amounts of every day, and fat, which is mainly an energy source, and we need to make sure we get enough omega-3 in our diet.